As always, we are kicking off this video with some recommendations from you guys. Starting with the dude recommending Mad Max. If you ever wanted to experience the post-apocalyptic desert, this is your go-to game, with engaging melee combat and high-speed car chases, all while fighting sandstorms and a dynamic weather system. I did really enjoy the first few sessions, but after 10 hours it ran out of gas. The open world is too big and the grinding was too much for me. Overall a good game if you're into those things. Next up, Kenny recommended Nier Automata, a game I absolutely love and that grabbed my attention from start to finish, even after multiple mandatory playthroughs. It seamlessly blends together storytelling, hack and slash action and bullet hell shooter gameplay. It's a highly unique experience, and it's one of those games that you have to complete multiple times to get the whole story. I don't want to get too much into details, so go in as blind as possible. Overall, a must-play hidden gem on the PS4. Highly recommended if you haven't played it yet. Hey you guys, how are you doing? Today I have 10 more relatively unknown PlayStation 4 hidden gems that are definitely worth checking out. And one thing is for sure, some epic adventures are waiting you in the next few minutes. So grab yourself some pizza, kick back and make yourself comfortable, and let's get the kick out of gaming. Let's kick off this list with a relatively unknown Souls-like, Shattered, Tale of the Forgotten King. In Shattered, we step into the shoes of a mysterious wanderer, traversing a world that's fallen apart in an attempt to overthrow a god king, or something along those lines. The story is scarce and deliberately shrouded in mystery. The first few things you'll notice when playing Shattered are its unique art style and alien architecture. It really captures this otherworldly fairy tale-like atmosphere. And if you played a Souls game before, you know the deal. The game revolves around exploration, precise swordplay, blocking, and dodges to avoid excessive damage. When you meet an untimely demise, you respawn at the distant save point, but you lose all your hard-earned experience. Personally, I really enjoy this gameplay loop, searching every nook and cranny of a game world for secret areas while fighting goons and enjoying the breathtaking visuals. Shattered, Tale of the Forgotten King is a bit rough around the edges, but considering its low price and how frequently it goes on discount, it's worth a try. One of the few easier Souls-likes with a unique touch, a true hidden gem, like the next game on this list. Victor Vran, the Overkill edition. In this top-down action RPG, we play as, yes you guessed it, Victor Vran, a demon hunter summoned to a remote Victorian-era inspired city whose inhabitants are afflicted with a disease which transforms them into horrific beasts. What sounds like a serious Yarnum problem turns into a more laid-back adventure with a ton of fun dialogue, voiced by the same guy who did Geralt from the Witcher series. But the main reason why I recommend Victor Vran is the simple and straightforward gameplay. You can have a fun playthrough without much grinding. Leveling your character is easy and changing the build is simple. Some enemies and later in-game challenges can be frustrating, but overall the experience is great and some of the dialogues are just hilarious. All in all, Victor Vran is a game you can play to relax. If you like a simple game with a decent plotline, a game where you don't have to hit up guides, a game with neat visuals and smooth gameplay, and a game where you can chill with friends and just to rush along, all without online connection, Victor Vran fulfills it all. And if this game isn't laid back enough for you, then check out the next game on this list, Dodgeball Academia. This game follows the basic storyline of every top-tier sports anime, complete with a protagonist which must overcome numerous challenges, forging friendships and creating rivals, while trying to form the best dodgeball team and become the ultimate champion at Dodgeball Academia. This game is boasting a unique dodgeball-based battle system. where the game's mechanics are simple to learn but hard to master as you progress. Just keep in mind, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. As I progressed, it was super satisfying to see the new ultimate moves thrown at me, or the whole crazy chaos that happens when there are a lot of active balls at the field. Dodgeball Academia is an interesting mix of RPG and sports elements, with a great battle system that is satisfying to learn. The art style is bright and has unique character designs, funny writing and amazing combat. If you like to play sports games spiced up with superpowers, I highly recommend this game. And when you're done enjoying the good summertime vibes of this game, it's time to check out the zombie-infested streets in Guns, Gore and Cannoli. Every once in a while there is a side-scrolling shooter with a great and unique comic art style, an entertaining story and bloody good gameplay. On my PlayStation 4 this was Guns, Gore and Cannoli. Guns, Gore and Cannoli is a 2D side-scrolling action platformer where we play as Vinnie Cannoli, a mobster traveling to a town plagued by zombies and rival gangsters. Thankfully, we come equipped with the right moveset to deal with those kinds of challenges, mainly running from left to right and blasting every flesh-eating goon in the goriest way possible. The game and gunplay is very satisfying, and the soundtrack features some great classic songs. This amps up the bloody fun to the max. While the story is basic, the cutscenes were pretty funny and the voice acting was molto bene. It's an absolute bloody good time and I highly recommend playing it on easy, because some of the later bosses and level sections tend to spike in difficulty. Or if you don't mind the challenge, bring a co-op buddy to the party. Guns, Gore and Cannoli is a side-scrolling shooter I recommend without hesitation. Good bloody fast-paced 3 to 4 hours of pure fun. Seeing games like this is super cool and super fun. But most importantly, Superhot. And that's conveniently the title of the next game on this list. Superhot. Be prepared to start saying Superhot in your head for the next few days. Without a doubt, it's one of the most original shooters created on the PS4. The basic concept is simple. Time only moves when you move, giving the main gameplay loop and combat an interesting twist. Add to that levels that could be straight out of an action flick, where things happen like throwing an empty weapon at a goon, knocking his weapon out of his hands, grabbing it mid-air and then shooting him with his own gun. Yes, it's as awesome as it sounds. Enjoying the mayhem that is unleashed as we put that plan into motion, dodging bullets left and right, taking out our enemies one step at a time. With its gameplay and unique stylized graphics, Superhot manages to be one hell of a wild ride. For the extra kick in gaming, try out the VR edition. But I must warn you, it's over before you know it, and you will be done with this game in about 3 to 4 hours. Thankfully, the next game on this list has a bit more to chew on. Children of Morta. Children of Morta is a hack and slash with a heavy narrative focus, which revolves around the adventures of the Bergson family. While darkness spreads across the land a family have sworn to protect, it's our goal to reunite the whole clan and face the forces of evil. And it's impossible not to be captivated by the Bergson family's struggle for survival. We play and switch between all 8 members of the family, which all have their unique gameplay style and skill tree. As we develop them, we unlock perks not only for our selected warriors, but also for the entire family. It's an extremely rewarding gameplay loop. Normally, I'm not a big fan of RNG and procedurally generated environments, but Children of Morta delivers an exceptional experience with superior gameplay and a surprising amount of heart. I didn't expect such a deep and emotional story that kept me hooked until the very end. Between the perfect dungeon size, the bite-sized story chunks, and the clear objectives, this is a game meant for picking up at a moment's notice. If you want to level up your experience, make good use of the 2-player co-op option. because the next game on this list doesn't offer such a pleasant experience. Amnesia The Bunker. The newest entry in the Amnesia series takes us back to the horrors of World War I, but instead of guns blazing, we will be running for our life. With only a few bullets in our pistol and a flashlight that sounds like a malfunctioning chainsaw. It's like trying to escape a haunted house, except this house is a creepy underground bunker filled with dismembered bodies and hungry vermin. Oh, and did I mention that there is a hulking beast with razor-sharp claws hunting you down too? Perhaps, unsurprisingly, you just have one goal in this game, and that's GTFO. In Amnesia The Bunker, you'll be constantly on edge, managing resources, scavenging for supplies, and desperately trying to keep the lights on, because darkness equals death. I'm happy to say that the developers nailed the creepy atmosphere and the relentless tension in this game. You will be forced to think outside the box many times during your playthrough. For example, you can find a key for a door, blow it apart with a grenade, or find a vent to crawl inside the room. But be careful, there are booby traps everywhere. So if you're not paying attention, every sound you make will entice and invite the beast towards you. Good luck working out the mysteries of the bunker while staying alive. But hey, dying a lot and feeling lost just adds to the satisfaction when you finally beat the game. So if you enjoy the thrill of sneaking around in the dark, solving puzzles and being terrified out of your wits, then this is the perfect survival horror experience for you. And from the front lines of World War I, we travel to the future, where our survival rate is slightly higher, in Terminator Resistance. Terminator Resistance is set in the year 2028, where we finally manage to solve all the world problems thanks to one simple solution. All jokes aside, we have risen from the ashes of the nuclear fire and taken on the role of Jacob Rivers, a soldier from the Resistance, to defeat Skynet's robotic killing machines. A mysterious stranger helps us to escape, and together we join a group of Resistance survivors on their way to a safe haven. The overall narrative is decent, but nothing extraordinary. Despite being marked for termination, we end up doing the typical tasks like finding lost items, patching up relationships, and going on dangerous missions all by ourselves. But I have to admit, I have a soft spot for these early 2000s style shooters. It was refreshing to just start at point A, follow linear areas, and end up at point B. Terminator Resistance seems to remember those good old days. The game's mix of run-and-gun gameplay and stealth-centered missions also struck a perfect balance for me. The dim post-apocalyptic world, combined with great licensed music from the first two Terminator movies, gives you the impression that you are actually a Resistance soldier fighting Skynet. Gunplay is fun and there is a lot of gear to use and upgrade. You can unlock new skills and stealth elements, making the whole experience pretty varied. So let's make the best out of the time right now, grab our can openers and blast some metal goons in this post-apocalyptic mission-based shooter. If you're done living in a society without robot civil rights, then it's time to move on to the next game on this list and to the endless vast outer space in Echo. After a century in deep freeze, Anne, a girl of the future, finally arrives at her destination. A legendary palace frozen in time. With the help of forgotten technologies, we embark on a mission to resurrect a lost existence. It all will make sense when you play the game, but Echo is an example of an exceptional idea that is enough to carry a whole game, and the clever use of AI creates a unique challenge for the player. At the base level, it's really simple. The enemies will copy every move you make. Meaning, if you start backstabbing, they will backstab. If you climb and jump, they will too. Engaging in a battle against yourself, thanks to the learning AI, is incredibly satisfying. Winning against your own strategy feels like a real triumph, while defeat feels entirely fair and justified. It's not a stretch to say. It's probably the smartest shooter that I've played, and it's exactly the kind of thing I've been waiting for. Combined with an exceptional sci-fi storyline, awesome voice acting, and some truly awe-inspiring gameplay moments. Normally, I wouldn't rank a digital-only game this high on a list. However, Echo surpasses expectations with its unparalleled premise and intelligent gameplay loop. Hence, it receives my highest recommendation without a second thought. The next game on this list was another step out of my comfort zone. Hunt Showdown. This game is set in a haunting swamp in the good old west and features an array of enemies such as zombies, terrifying demon dogs and other supernatural beings. Our character, a cowboy with a temporary existence, can be ranked up, equipped and skilled while alive. However, this game features permadeath, so if you get blasted, you have to move on to the next character. It's a wild and savage mixture of battle royale and PvE style gameplay. The basic objective is simple: rush and kill an NPC boss, steal his soul and make it to the extraction point, all while other players and all kinds of NPC goons trying to hunt you down. This is the real thrill of Hunt Showdown. You can lie in wait for others attempting to smoke the boss monster and engage in a fight while they do so, or quietly wait until they kill the thing and try to escape with the bounty. The possibilities are endless: ambushes, setting up traps, or intense gun battles between teams while fighting a boss at the same time. The tension runs high, and as the victor grabs their prize and escapes through a treacherous swamp while dodging rifle shots from the other teams. What truly thrills me about Hunt is its unpredictability. I gotta be honest with you, you either love Hunt Showdown or you hate it. For me, the unforgiving gunplay, the aggressive NPC mobs and the steep learning curve were daunting at first, but after a few hours messing around, I got the hang of it. And I can't stress this enough: play it with 1 or 2 friends and the game will open up a lot. Right now, there is nothing quite like it. The biggest flaw of this game, and a crime against humanity, is that it has no single player story mode. The setting, gameplay and world would be perfect with an amazing story to go along. But hey, you can't have everything, and I highly recommend you give Hunt Showdown a try. And now to the final spot on this list: Persona 5 Strikers. I have to admit, the OG Persona 5 wasn't the perfect fit for me. While I love the story, music and art style, the endless turn-based battle grinds did kill my enjoyment of it. No functional member of society has time to grind 100 hours, so I stopped playing halfway through and watched the anime instead. But when I learned that the follow-up Persona 5 Strikers would kick the turn-based combat out for a straightforward action RPG experience, I was freaking hyped. The story kicks in right after the ending of Persona 5. The Phantom Thieves gather once more during their summer break to solve the mystery behind new changes of heart, which this time are occurring all over Japan. So we have to start exploring twisted mindscapes and engage in real-time action combat with flashy combos, skillful dodging and the power to exploit enemy weaknesses. Each Phantom Thief has their own unique moveset, adding depth and variety to the real-time battles. The game keeps the amazing art design, and the soundtrack is perfect for when you're slashing dozens of enemies. The new characters introduced are well written and are overall a great addition to the story. If you love the Persona series, consider it a must-play. But even action fans that never touched a Persona game before might want to give it a try. And that's it, my dudes. This was a quick look at some PlayStation 4 hidden gems. But there were hundreds of games released for the PS4, so let me know which hidden gem I need to play in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, kick the like button, sharing is caring, and subscribe. But most importantly, have a great day and get the kick out of gaming.
And I eat goons for breakfast, capiche? Whatever you say, pal.